my dear Virgo. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between April 1st and April 15, 2018, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I have put astrological information for the month of April in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se, where you can also find and buy all the decks I'm using in this video. There's also a subscription service up on my webpage that you can take part of if you want to learn more about spiritual growth, yoga and tarot. So I used the Modern Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquise and illustrated by Scott Murphy, and I will start shuffling your cards. So my dear Virgo, here we have an Ace of Cups and the Seven of Swords. So I'm thinking you are fearing a broken heart here, or you might be confused about what your heart wants. It's like your heart wants something that you yourself have given up on, and you don't believe in it anymore, so you can't understand why your heart is calling. Okay. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the Six of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So Six of Swords is truth. Seven of Swords is kind of lies. Six of Swords is when you have found something deep within you, probably the Ace of Cups there. Seven of Swords is when you give up on your mission and you can't just do it anymore. It doesn't seem to have a great prospect anymore. With the Seven of Swords, it's might be cowardness also involved. Or it might be a person that doesn't want to be caught with a lie. It might be a person that, a person or situation, like a person with a very bad self-esteem, and that might be doing, like play with the trickeries of the mind because they can't stand you looking at them with truth. Okay, so it's a person using manipulation to get their will through, or that a person that plays on your emotions. So without, it's like a person, for example, if they you deny coming to the dinner that they have arranged, they might not call you for 2 months, not telling you that there's a problem, but actually just disappearing from the surface of earth. So it's like passive aggressive thing to do, way to do things. But it might also be a person like inviting you to a dinner party and canceling in the last minute, saying that they got a cough so no one will come, and then you walk by the house and you see that there's a party. So it's different degrees in this hell here. Seven of Swords, 7 is always challenges, and this time it's challenge kind of for you to believe your own mind and not fall into the illusions that you yourself or someone else is trying to weave for you. Okay, so I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we have 5 of Cups. So you're very scared of your heart being spilled, or your heart juice being spilled, or your because you don't trust the person. And what you need to do here is align with everything you find inside. Maybe that you love this person even if they are driving you crazy, and also that this person can you can hurt yourself by being close to them. Everything can be there at once. It's no contradiction. Okay, so you can love a person that's not good for you, or you can love a person and still keep your distance because you know they're going to make you disappointed. Okay, so I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, 4 swords, procrastination, 4 swords, procrastination. Maybe it's like this: you don't want to be rude to someone, or you don't want to end up in a struggle or a conflict with them, so you're playing their games a little bit. You don't say what you're seeing, that oh, so you had the party anyway without me. What was that all about? Couldn't you just have said that you didn't want me to come? And if so, what's the problem? So I think the best way to deal with these kind of things is to not just, you know, endure and participate in the silent treatment. I think it's probably better to see where you can find truth in this, how you can share truth, communicate truth, see truth, experience truth. So don't drive yourself crazy by trying to follow some moral codes and values that's being used against you to kind of drive you a little bit crazy. Okay, it might be you doing this to someone as well, having a little bit like martyr trip, making someone else feel guilty. Okay, 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit. 7 of Wands. You need to stand up for yourself and for your high moral values. Don't let this get to you. It's like someone has kidnapped your soul a little bit. So, Spirit and Ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Virgo viewers. 4 of Pentacles. So you have 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. We have the Strength card here. So I'm thinking you need to be courageous in this situation and kind of walk outside your comfort zone. Not doing the comfortable thing, but more the truthful thing this time. So a clear view reading for my dear Virgos. I want my dear Virgos to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success. 7 of Wands, know what you're fighting for, and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So we had both the masculine challenger, 7 of Swords, 7 of Wands. It's air and fire. It's very feisty. It's the energy that war's being bring out from. But I'm thinking it's time for you to go to war if you're being treated things are happening underneath the surface. Both you know it, the other person knows it, but it's like they are getting the upper hand over you by using your more soft sides, making you, because you want peace, they probably don't want peace. They want drama, and they want you to feel dramatic and sad and disappointed and all these things. They are kind of thriving from this energy. It's like they are flying over and sucking in this energy from you. So it doesn't have to be like a person is being evil. It's not like that. It's a person being hurt in some way, and they don't know how to feed themselves. So they feed themselves on other people's energy by causing drama and causing bitterness, causing chaos. So the best way to stick hold on this balloon is to say what you see. I see what you're doing. I see that this is the reaction you want from me. It's not going to happen. Have your party as much as you want. Don't bother to invite me the next time. So you need to find a way to rise above this situation and not interact with the madness of it all, and in the same time standing very close to truth and always communicate what you see. It's like everyone has agreed upon the emperor having beautiful clothes where really he's naked, and now you need to, it's the time when you tell the emperor that he's naked. Okay, so it's a lot of situations that might be put on its like on a place where it can easily become unbalanced, but you need to do it because you can't stay in your comfort zone and just endure this kind of treatment. Okay, so I'll just tune in for a few seconds. So my dear Virgo, this is your future there. And this is your now, and this is the past. So in the past we have the 6 of Swords. Past is probably March, and it seems like you have discovered something, you have seen something, you have kind of gone inside. This is the Hermit. He has the sun symbol above his head, so you have seen something, and you might be wondering, did I really see the truth? Is this really the truth? It's one truth, and it's your truth, so align with it as long as you feel it to be the truth. If someone comes with another truth another day, you can open your heart to that truth instead. We're always expanding our awareness, and we can't be ahead of time. We know what we know today. We can't be super conscious about things we don't know anything about. So trust yourself. Also join like your logic with your heart. Here's Swords, and this is water, and this is kind of a relationship, and this relationship is mostly with yourself. You need to cultivate a very, very beautiful relationship with yourself where you put trust in yourself and believe in what you see with your own eyes. Stop with the questioning of yourself. this is going to help you becoming, like, reaching the other shore and becoming grounded. And this is the now, so it's the first half of April 2018, and we have the star card here. It's Aquarius, Six of Swords. It's also Aquarius. So you have double Aquarius. It's something that you need to be aware of. You need to rise above the situation, seeing it from an above perspective. Stop with the frog perspective. Don't get yourself out of balance with guilt and shame and confusion. Just trust yourself. Land in yourself. Okay. So star card, it's something, it's like the divine wants to connect with you and they are doing great. It's just that you need to believe in what you're getting also, and start trust this, whatever is going on. And here's the Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles is Virgo. Okay, and we have a Ten of Cups there that wanted to show itself. So it's something, this is like a little bit of a singles card, but it's like you're not single really. It's just that you need to you need to align with yourself if you are to align with others. When you believe in yourself and you trust yourself, you become a very strong person, and you won't let like crappy situation into your life anymore, and that is going to make you a perfect ground for real love, like soulmate love or beautiful connection among friends and families, like a situation where you never betray each other. So if you stop betraying yourself, people on the outside will stop betraying you too. Well, past. Here we have the Moon card. So it has been difficult for you. It has been confusing to sort out what's right and what's wrong, where you are allowed to do or act or react. But you're always allowed to do, act and react, as long as you don't hurt each other or leave things in other people's way. If people want to make you do something that you don't want, you don't have to say yes. Okay, and if people are trying to get you into believing something that you don't believe, you don't have to believe it. Okay, don't fall for peer pressure in this situation. It's very important to be clear-minded. 18 is also connected to the Hermit. That's number 9. You have the 9 here, so you need to ground yourself in yourself. Start with whatever is going on inside yourself before you involve yourself in outside circumstances. So first consult yourself before you consult someone else. First look inside yourself before you ask someone else. In this situation, I'm meaning if you, for example, have a trouble with a friend, listen to your own wisdom before you call your mother or your other best friend and gossip about this, okay? So find out for yourself first. It will make you even more wiser. So, and here we have an 8 of Wands. So it seems like you have been down there with yourself, inside yourself, and you got a lot of answers, okay? A lot of beautiful answers that came through you, but from the divine. And what is the divine? The divine is another you, okay? It's just a part of you that's not manifested here on earth with its consciousness. Your consciousness is currently preoccupied inside a body, but it's not all of your consciousness. You have your greater self also that's still on the other side, and it might be this side of you that you have got in connection with. It seems very prosperous, and you have the symbol for the star here that you can also see on the belt here. The Page of Cups came. So what's in your heart is very important. This will kind of crystallize into truth. It's when we finally start to say what we really mean, when things just resolve magically, because we are using our soul power instead of bowing to some moral codes and values that was dictated a very long time ago and we now have outgrown. You don't have to be polite towards stupid people. You can say to them directly what you're seeing, diplomatically and graciously, without wanting to hurt the person, because you don't need to be bitter. You just say, okay, I see your game, I'm not interested in playing it. And here you have a beautiful Four of Wands. So I'm thinking some kind of unification have happened within you. You have finally welcomed home some part of you that weren't invited before. It was in the shadow, and now it's home again. And it might also have been on the outside of you, that you have been maybe out of tune, out of whack with someone in some important relationship, and there has been a path of forgiveness here. But mostly this is happening because of what's going on inside of you, where you're starting to accept more and more of yourself, and unifying yourself, making yourself a stronger and stronger entity for every day that goes by, just by self-aligning, just with trusting yourself. Start loving yourself. And here you have the Seven of Wands, so keeping your head hold high, and the chest, it's yes, it's rising to the occasion here. We see his proud posture, and he has this little bird there. It's not a crow, it's a bird that comes with messages. I still don't know the name in English. I don't remember when the reading is done to check it out, but it's some kind of bird that eats fruit. It has a yellow beak, if you can see it. In Sweden it comes in the springtime. I don't think it's a bird that stays over winter. Okay. A part of that, he has green clothes and green yellow, and you can see that the soul has gone down in the square. The square is your temple, the triangle is your soul, and the green is unconditional love. So unconditional love towards yourself, your temple, and your soul. That is going to make you very strong, and also a little bit stubborn and very heroic. Okay, so 8, 7, and 4 of Wands here. Great unification. And here comes death, and death in this case is a very, very good card. It's stating that old is dead. Whatever you have gone through before, it's kind of, you are done with it. You have learned something very important, and you're walking through this doorway here, kind of going to a metamorphosis. It's like you have been a larva, and now you have become this beautiful butterfly. It might be that you're dealing with a fire person as well, and here you have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So it's very passionate, but I'm thinking it's this with the mixing what has happened inside of you, with these passionate things that's going on with inside of you. You have the sun symbol there and water here, and the source is representing your awakened human mind that can have the perception of what's going on, like a little bit of it. You can't keep everything in mind, it's too big. It's some kind of happening in your whole being, like also with outside your body, like in your soul, things are going on that's out of your grasp, but you can understand a little bit with your awakened mind. But don't try to restrain yourself or strain yourself with trying to figure it all out. Just go with whatever is. It's save some room for you know, other things. This is just, it's like digesting. It's just going to happen like naturally. A lot of it's going to happen naturally. The only thing you need to do is start to trust and align and love yourself. Okay. So both moon and death, it might be a little bit painful, all this, but mostly it's like I'm feeling the fresh breeze of hope. It's like, oh, and you're becoming so strong that it doesn't really matter what happens to you on the outside, and that makes you breathe in the morning breeze. It feels very fresh. This is in the now, and that is the first half of April, and we have the Queen of Cups coming underneath the moon. That's Cancer, Pisces, and this is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, usually Cancer, this one. So something is going on with the moon here. We have had a lot with the full moons. We had 2 full moons in January, 2 full moons in March as well, and it seems like it has opened something beautiful within you. So you now have this marvelous connection with your own soul through your emotions. It might also be that you have a Cancer person in your life reflecting this. Maybe they can be also very over dramatic, very sensitive to sound, touch, like can't look at like the TV news anymore, and like danger movies where there's too much action. So I'm feeling it's a little bit fragile here. So don't mock anyone on your outside that's going through this, because it's just mirroring something that you need to go through in that case. Okay. And here you have a Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles is, when we have this card, there's always called for cooperation. People need to cooperate. So if they don't cooperate, there will be no babies, okay? So it seems like you or a water person wants to communicate the truth here, and do something that are healthy, okay, that works on a health routine, that will help you to perfect or better your relationship, or the overall situation, or the health, or whatever is going on. It might be work related as well. So someone has the wisdom and the truth, but they are a little bit fragile, okay? Yes. 10 of Swords, that was uncalled for. 10 of Swords is minor arcana death. You also have major arcana death here. Your old way of thinking needs to go. You have old moral codes that's kind of a little bit dangerous for you, especially if you have become this sensitive. So 10 of Swords, it can be don't talk with food in your mouth. Of course it's polite to not do that, but it's like it's scaring you. It's like arrows in your back, scaring you to submission underneath something old, like it's gone. Your mother's voice isn't there anymore. So okay, don't talk with your mouth open. What can we have here? Always need to be nice. Always, even if the other person isn't nice at all. And it's a lot of these rules. You can figure them out yourself, what you have. It's just to look inside whenever you are in a tricky situation, and ask yourself what you believe the other one would say, because the other one is usually these moral codes that have been like hammered into you through your lifetime, and it's not really healthy, as you can see. And the wolves here, it's your divine masculine, the wild man that wants you to rise up and, you know, become back into this posture again, and, you know, not lying there on the ground crawling just because it's like it feels like it's so easy to make you follow some codes, like peer pressure codes, that's making you feel not good at all. But it's like you're fearing the consequences if you wouldn't bow to these other voices or this peer pressure. So I would urge you to investigate a little bit, like what would happen if you didn't fall for it and actually went your own way, okay? Because this is something it's not healthy. And here you have a 10 of Pentacles, so that's probably the reason to why you are bending your back, like bending yourself over backwards, is because you want to be part of a group, you want to belong. You might do it for the sake of having a relationship with your children, for the sake of your marriage, for the sake of peace at your workplace, for the sake of peace among friends. So there's a reason to why you're doing it, but it seems like it's becoming, I'm seeing like earth coming up like together with air. It's like it's becoming all dusty and moldy and old and very like dirty. You won't be able to do this much longer. It's like it's going to come to a place in you when it's just going to be a big fat no. So it's better the sooner you can start to align with yourself and not regard so much the consequences, the better. Because I know this myself, that if you don't align with yourself, you will get really super tired over some different situation, which you would prefer to not be tired of them, but because you let these situation mold you into something you were not, you kind of become a little bit allergic to them. So it's better, the sooner you can say no, it's better both for you and for the people that you're dealing with. It's better for them to have you like you really are, instead of not having you at all, okay? So be careful with this. And it's also the same if you are pestering someone else. You might have gotten to the wall of their, like they can't take anymore, or enough is enough, okay? And here you have a Two of Swords. So Two of Swords is really a person that still tries to avoid conflict. It's like you're waiting to the last second. You don't want to have conflict. You want to avoid the consequences. You don't want to say whatever it is that you need to say, do whatever it is that you need to do. But I'm saying to you that if you delay this, if you procrastinate this, it's going to be worse both for you and the other person. It's better to let death walk through here and do its number, what it is it wants to do, and be over with it. Because afterwards, you will be in another landscape, okay? It won't look the same. You won't be the same person. You won't take the same stupid crap that you did before. It's a mercy to give up here and to follow with this very strong energy that wants to come through. To stand here and try to delay it is only going to increase the power which with this will come through. So it will drag more crap with it, crap that you might wanted to have still there. It might be like a friend that you had for 30 years or more, but you never said no to them. So the day when you start to say no, you won't tolerate them anymore. So the sooner you can go with this, it's like a mirror here. Look, this wand and the skite, I think. And here is the same, but in the other direction. So interesting. Making some kind of cross, maybe. Okay, so you have, it's in your hands, is what I'm seeing. It's in your hands, and you're delaying it because you don't know what will come after. So I'm seeing another picture now, and it's a beautiful inner picture that I've gotten from a Swedish poet that called Karin Boye. She's dead now. She wasn't that old when she died, and she talked about spring. That spring hesitates. It's afraid. When the first drop of water is going to fall from the roof of your house, it's dreading. It's dreading the fall. It's dreading what will come afterwards because it doesn't know what will come afterwards. And it's the same with the trees. They delay their bursting out in this green cascade because they don't know what's going to happen. They are delaying it. They are afraid. Maybe there's going to come like an icy night and kill them all. But then this poem is developing, and it's talking about when the water is like falling to the ground, and it's joined by other water drops, and it's becoming a stream, and it's rushing through the sea. So it's something like this that wants to happen here, but you are delaying it because, or it might be someone else delaying it. They might need to rise up to the occasion. Maybe you're waiting for them here very emotionally, but they kind of don't want to yield. They don't want to give up to their indicated their heart or some bigger this is judgment, so some bigger mission of some sort. And you had the 10 of Wands underneath there, also 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. So I see nothing dangerous here, but I'm seeing that there might be unnecessary losses due to procrastination. Okay, so this is the future, and here we have King of Swords, so it's Aquarius again. He looks a little bit dull, this person, but I'm thinking we are right on path here. This is the person that was a little bit fragile, and here is when they are starting to align with that and accepting it and putting like a guardian post for themselves. So deciding, well, I won't look at the news anymore. I'm not going to see that crappy movie because I won't be able to sleep, or whatever it is. You are going to start to align with the sensitivity inside of you, and you're going to have a judge, like your own warrior, to protect you and align with you. He loves you too, okay? This person loves you too. The water inside of you is connecting to your divine source, and this person is guarding that divine source. So it's very beautiful. This is self-love in its best shape and form. It might also be on the outside of you, a water person that starts to like not take crap anymore. They are just becoming this, what I said here, it's like they're becoming allergic to everything that they before could just take or endure, but now they have installed this this King of Swords. So the King of Swords is not that tolerant. It's not going to let the entity that it's protecting to get hurt. So it's very beautiful, actually. If this is happening within you, it's a freedom to this, because you're not going to care about the same stupid things that you did before, because you don't need their protection. You don't need a tribe's protection anymore. Now you have your own protection, and it's something that's much more highly vibrating. It's like the it's Aquarius, so it's the next evolution in humankind. We are probably becoming even more individualistic, but in the same time more open-hearted. Okay, so next card is Ace of Swords. So it's blood, sweat and tears, victory at last. And it comes underneath truth, and this is truth, and this is Holy Trinity working together with other people. So it's not that you're bitter, it's not that you're shunting them away. It's just that you might not tolerate any more of certain vibrations. It will just be a no. It will just be so it's very clinical. You might shop off like people from your life that's not going to be there anymore, and you're also going to tell valuable truths, not angry truths, but valuable truths about you. Like, this is how I feel, and like stubbornly but softly yielding, standing for yourself without being. Because this is the combination of these energies. So you're both strong, but in the same time yielding. So it's like kind of Mahatma Gandhi and every movement of non-violence. So this is what I'm seeing. You have boundaries, very, very strong boundaries, but there's no violence, there's no bitterness, there's no hate. It's just like boundaries. They are there, and they are there like by natural order. So it's nothing you can compromise about. It's nothing you can sell or buy. It's nothing you can, okay, I will change, I will do it differently. It won't work, because this is where they are naturally, and they just came here by you connecting with your divine self. So I'm thinking you have taken up some entity from the shadowy landscape. For me, I'm calling this person the Mummy Knight. For me, it was a mummy. I was really scared of this entity before it was integrated, because I thought that it was making my life dull by sending away all people that mattered to me. But actually, I wasn't supposed to fear this inside of me. I was more supposed to fear these people on outside of me, because I just didn't recognize who was good and who was bad. And it's so often this with empathic people, or people that's kind of have this lifestyle of turning the other cheek. So when you have installed this, you will feel much better, okay? Here we have a Five of Swords. The steepness of the mountains in a card is kind of talking about the steepness of your challenges. And here we have a really steep mountain, and if you see, we have those steep mountains also there and there and there, of course with all the swords card, but also in this it's more the waterfall. So there it might be not so much challenging, that it can be a little bit challenging because you need to go with the flow. So you can't go against your own energy anymore. But here you're up towards some kind of enemy or some kind of I'm thinking it has to do with this peer pressure. So it might be people in your life that wants to keep you in the way that you were. They like when you were subordinate to them because it gave them power, and they don't want one sheep to get out of the flock. So people might get upset with you and wants to set things straight. People that before were like the very closest to you might turn against you here, but it's kind of just a challenge. It's just so you can drive this new mummy knight of yours. Okay, see what he's made of. Okay, and here we have the Wheel of Fortune. So karma is also involved. It's a 10 triangle of tens, and it says that, okay, here we go again. Here you have a chance again to do this, what you have not been able to do before, and probably it is to kind of stand up against peer pressure. What I'm seeing now suddenly is Judas. Okay, he were not able to stand up against peer pressure. So it's kind of this old of karma. It's probably as old as human beings have been living, and now you are to stand up for some higher grounded truth inside of you that's not to be sold out. Okay, and here we have a 6 of Wands. So by doing this, what comes through this door is this 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is a person being a very good example to other people and becoming leader of their tribe, showing the way. So what you are doing inside your own life, that's very healthy right now, where you're restoring certain parts of you that are required of you if you are going to be a grown-up. Instead of a sheep in a flock, you are going to be like a lion, or the wolves that we saw there. Okay, a lion, this is Leo is Jupiter in Leo, you have Falcon there. So instead of being like a follower, you are going to become a leader of some sort. And it just means that when you follow your own inner moral codes and values, the true ones, the ones that's written on your heart, then you are going to become a very good example for others. And it's just like you just need to be you, and this is going to spread like rings on water, because we are living in a web of creation, like a web of gravity. When you do stuff in your life, you teach people around you to do the same. So when you free yourself, others will free themselves. And it's like the 100 monkey. It's an idea that when 100 monkeys have learned the same thing, everyone will know, all the monkeys will know. And actually we have a monkey here that's blind and doesn't know. So you will learn, all these monkeys, something new. And by your evolution, other people's is evolving. So the important thing is to stay very stubbornly aligned with yourself during this time, and let this new thing be born. It's fragile, but yet super strong. And it's going to be like a wobbly time where people are going to question your new attitude. Okay, just keep the attitude. And maybe not always the people. Okay. Sometimes we need to part like oil and water. So go the distance. It will be a little bit challenging here, and you might lose patience and want to go back to how things were before, but I don't think it's going to work for you to do that. It's going to be pesty to even try. So 47. For some reason I'm getting 46 and 48. Okay. Endurance, strength, the long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there's no need to fear occasional obstacle, even the very steep ones, okay? This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. You either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride ups and downs and even strain, break yourself and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and a symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So if you are currently a little bit out of tune with someone and you haven't, pushed yourself so much that you are now allergic to that person and nauseated by them as soon as they are showing their face, there might be hope for whatever relationship is here, even if it's double death. It's not forever if something is breaking here. It's just that these other people kind of first needs to test you, that you really stand up for what you believe in, and then they need to start to kind of accept the new you. And whatever you are doing here is going to release some big fat karma, and it's going to be very good for everyone. So don't back down just because it gets a little bit tough or you start to feel a little bit lonely. It might be a little bit lonely, but you're actually unifying with more parts of yourself, so you're less lonely than when you were before. The slave dances into freedom. So Virgo, you're not a slave anymore. 21. And it's the sheep. It's not the sheep anymore, but becoming the wolf or the lion, walking alone. Not walking alone in sadness, but in strength. You don't need the protection of the tribe anymore in the same way. You need the protection of you. You have been on a path that no longer serves your highest good. The time has come for you to be free from it. I shall free you from the negative influence of even the most persistent struggle or devastating conditions with one simple gesture. Do not be attached to the war you have endured, my beloved wild warrior. It is over by my grace. A new reality of freedom is yours. It is time to dance your way into freedom. The divine loves your fighting spirit, but you are to be protected from a too long battle that could poison your beautiful heart with bitterness and leave you depleted. Instead, it is recognized that you are in need of solace, sweetness, and sense of purposeful passion that does not dry you out, but fills you and allows you to offer healing to the world rather than trying to bend the world to your will. You have been granted honorable discharge for karmic duty completed. Soon you will be experiencing life in a completely different way, free from a legacy of darkness that once held you down, kept you trapped in conflict that perhaps even became bitter, disheartening and draining. That darkness might have held you enthralled in an eternal pattern of repetitive suffering and struggle, or it might have been your seduction, domination, or enslavement to the power of another person or any external set of circumstances. This taste of freedom bestowed shall not only be sweet, it shall be utter and complete. So congratulations, Virgo, you are now free, and by your own effort also. So you have done well, my sweet warriors. So I want you to take really good care, and I welcome you back to my mid-month April reading that I will be performing in the beginning of April. So okay, bye bye.